Hello everyone, welcome once more to my channel after a long time of birthing and nursing. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you so much for waiting. So in this video, I'll be showing us how to make a hanging shirt. First of all, you need to take your measurement just as seen, and I want to explain the difference between the hanging shirt and a normal shirt or a crop top. A crop top ends at your half length or a bit lower than your half length, but a hanging top will go all the way down, but before your hip length. So in this video, I just went ahead to take the shoulder measurement, and I'm taking my length, which is about 23. I'll be using the length 23 for this video, and I'll be doing a size 14. So this length 23, I will go ahead and take the shoulder of 8.5, and all the way down to take the armhole. Now at this point, I'm taking my 1-inch slant. Then I'm going ahead to take the mark for the armhole. I'll just make a beautiful roll here, so it will be easy for me to give it a curve when I need to do that. So in this video, I'm cutting the back first. I'm going to use the back place on the front to cut the front. So we all know that when you do your armhole, just make sure you put your measurement at the center, like just take the midpoint of your armhole measurement like I did, and give it a beautiful curve. Like I said, I'll be making for size 44, and the breast point I'll be taking 11. I'm sorry, size 14. Yes, size 14, but we used the bust 44. So the breast point I'll be taking 11. And like I said, all the way down. I'm sorry the end of the dress is not showing, but just know that you take the length of your dress with allowance. I took about 2 inches allowance. Just go ahead and take your bust divided by 4. You can see where I've been mentioning 44, 44, 44, because 44 divided by 4 gave me 11. So I took 11 and I took extra 2.5 inches allowance. 2.5 inches allowance. This is going to be a shirt, a very free shirt. So you can imagine how big it will be afterwards. I didn't need to just do my waist measurement or my hip measurement. I just took it straight down. So even if you're not seeing the end of this fabric, just know that I took it straight down. I just gave it a little bit of like a shape, but it's actually straight down. I did. This is a hanging top. It's not like other crop top that is very short, and it's not like other normal shirt that is like your hip length. So all you just need to do is to make sure that you're taking for your hanging top, it's about a few inches away from your half length or your belly button. So for the neck, I'm going with 3 inches for the width and 1 inch for the back, which is the back. Like I said, I'm making the back 1 inch for the back. Just do a curve, and then we're going to be cutting this beautiful piece. Now you can see I had to connect that 1 inch slant to my neck. So I'll go ahead and give it a beautiful cut right now. Then I will use this piece to cut the back. So you can see, just make sure that you don't take an excess armhole in length, because it's going to be a free dress. You don't want your armhole to be too big. So in case you use a 9 inches for your length, just make sure you reduce it to maybe 7.5, because once you curve and do other things, it's going to be bigger. So for the front, I'll be using 2 different materials, just as seen in the video earlier. One of these, one side of it is going to be this purple you see me place on the material we use for the back. So I just straightened up my material. At this point, it's not on fold. I just straighten one material up and then put the other one. and I'll be using 3 inches for my button allowance, 3 inches for my button allowance, with the same length of size of length 23 rather. So this is a 3 inches. I just hope you can see it very well. Take a look at the other material that I use for the back. I'm using it for one side, and this is the new material. I'm still using it for the front. So the front is going to be half of this purple material you're seeing and half of this beautiful yellow fabric I used for the back. So just place your back piece on this one, and at this point for your front depth neck, you take 3 inches, just like I've done. You take 3 inches, and make sure that your front width is the same with your front, your front width is the same with your back neck width. Yes, with your back neck width. I'm sorry. So at this point you can see that I've taken the curve, and I won't be cutting on the exact line. The reason because once you fold, it won't be straight. So I'm going to go up a little bit by half an inch, then come back. Just watch carefully, you'll see. I almost forgot. Yes, half an inch, and then I come back. So at this one, once you fold it inside, yes, you can actually trim it when you're about to put your collar without stress. So just go ahead and cut the same thing. Just make sure that you put your front allowance for your button, and I use 3 inches for this particular tutorial. So just go ahead and notch, just like I'm doing, notch both the up and the down, and then you can go ahead and use your overlock machine to weave in the sides and get started. So this is it. I actually made a video of the sleeve, but I didn't know it wasn't videoing. I'm sorry. So I just go ahead, cut your basic sleeve as I've done. Two pieces of your basic sleeve, like a pair, of course. Cut your basic sleeve, and this is the sleeve I'll be attaching to the shirt. Just make sure that your shirt is your armhole is enough to be attached to your shirt, your upper bodies. So for this, I just took the length 14 plus 2 inches allowance, so the normal length is going to be 12, and I'm going to be hemming the downside of it with my hemming gum. I'll do it properly and I'll fix it. So like I said, just make sure that it's enough to go around the armhole like this. And the width I took is about 18 inches for this, because it's going to be free as possible, but at least beautiful, just like the way you saw it on the video earlier on. So this is the sleeve I'm going to be using. I'll go ahead and I'll sew the shirts together, both the front and the back piece. This is the back piece, and I'll place the front piece. Now remember, the front now looked is like in two pieces, because the opening is on the front, and that is where we're going to put the button. So this is one piece of it. At this point, I'm just trying to look for a pin round. Oh, so I finally saw one, and I'll be placing it like this. See the other fabric I used. You can actually use the same fabric, but I just used this one just to be creative, and it was so nice at the end of the video because my client actually liked it very, very, very much. So this is it. What you need to do is, first of all, once you attach the shoulder together, you take half an inch and then you sew it. After taking half an inch to sew it, then you can add your sleeve to it. So make sure you iron the down of it, because I'm about putting my hemming gum right now. I don't play with my ironing, and I don't play with my sewing, or should I say hemming. Hemming gum is mostly what I use for a lot of things. If you know what this hemming gum does for me, I am always having it in my store, my office, just because it's one of the easiest material I use in tailoring. So at this point, I've fixed the sleeve to it. I've attached the sleeve to the bodice, and I'm going to close it carefully down just to make sure that your armhole at that point aligns together, because knit job is very very good, like it's a priority for me. And then all the way down from the sleeve, I'll just take 1 inch to sew all the way down. I'll do the same for both sides, and don't forget to iron. Ironing makes your job very neat. Ironing makes your job very 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 neat. So I'll iron the shoulders, iron the armhole, and I'm going to open it up like this. This is one of the trick. One of the tricks again, you open it up like this to iron. First, you see how your seam slips very well before I then turn it over to the main fabric, which is the right side, to iron. So I iron the side and iron the armhole, everywhere that needs ironing, to make sure that this shirt turns out very 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 well. So this is me ironing everything that I need to iron, and then I'm going to open up the shoulder to the shoulder seam and iron. So it's now for me to fold my space for the buttonhole. I'm also going to be using my hemming gum. You can use anything of your choice. You can use your gum stay, you can use your air stay, but sometimes I use hem gum as for a reason. It still gives me that firmness. It's not too thick, it's not too soft, and then it puts my material together before putting my buttonhole. So I just went ahead and I did a very beautiful ironing my hemming gum, and I also did the same thing for the downside of the the dress, or should I say the shirt rather, of the hanging shirt. And I want you to know that after putting my hemming gum, I also ran a stitch on it. I ran a stitch on it just to secure everything. I ran a stitch on the button area. I also ran a stitch on the down. So it's time to cut our collar. For the collar, use the measurement of your neck, the round measurement of your neck, divided it by 2. Once you divide it by 2, you can now put it on fold. So now the round measurement I'm using for this neck is about 19. I'm dividing it by 2 and on fold, and it's giving me 8.5, but I added half-inch allowance. I went ahead to take 2 inches upwards, 2 inches upwards like this, and then I'll slant it down. Before taking 2 inches upward, you can see that I took half an inch to give it a curve down a bit, and I also took the 2 inches from there. So this is where my curve is. You can, if you look at it very well, you'll see where my curve is. You'll see where my curve is. And this is like the first part of the collar, and this is going to be the folded part. I love cutting both together, so it gives me a beautiful shape. I took about 3.5 inches for this point, and then 3 inches for the end point. Now that piece that is closed, that is folded, is going to be attached to the collar, and I'll just go ahead and cut it like this. You can decide to cut it separately, it's fine, but I enjoy cutting it like this. Now this collar is going to be in 2 pieces, as we know. After cutting this, I'm going to be cutting the second piece of it, to make it 2. At that point, you can slant anywhere you want to slant to. You can make it V, you can just make it straight. Make sure that you notch the center so you don't get confused when it's time for you to sew it. I'll go ahead and cut the second piece of my collar. So this is both piece together. Just make sure you join one side, the upside. You join the upside of the bigger piece, and also the sides, leaving one side open. So this is a smaller piece, and I'll be fixing the smaller piece, the bigger piece into the smaller piece rather. So if you really do not understand how to cut a collar, I'll drop a video basically on how to measure and cut a collar, different kind of colors. So this is a very beautiful color, and I went ahead to use my hemming gum again. After sewing the side, you can see this hemming gum works magic for me. Yeah, it works magic for me. That is, you can't take it off just like paper gum. It turns your dress. It makes your dress looks very firm and neat. So I'm gonna lock it with a hemming gum like this before connecting it or attaching it to the smaller piece, just as seen. Please don't mind my water. I enjoy using this a lot. I enjoy it. So even if I get a spray, I just feel more comfortable using this beautiful water bottle inside the water and ironing. I think it's very okay for me. So just make sure you iron neatly, carefully, and after ironing, take the center point of this particular one, and yours, because the center of the upper piece goes with the center of the smaller piece. So I'll open it like this and put in that upper piece, which is the bigger one, to the smaller piece, just as same. Once I do it like that, I'll just open it up. You can see I also notched the smaller piece, the center part of the smaller piece, and this is the center, but I have to put it in between both pieces. Like I have to put the bigger one after sewing and ironing in between the smaller piece, and I'll be using my hemming gum and sew alongside with it. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. You can go ahead and put a paper stay, air stay, whatever stay, collar stay for your own, but I choose to use this for a very beautiful reason. So this is what it looks like, and I will be attaching it to the neck. Actually, this is how I folded it to take my neck measurement for the collar. You can do the same, so you will know the inch, or should I say the measurement of your neck before cutting your collar. I'll just go ahead and fix this collar. First of all, sewing one side of it from the wrong side of the dress, and then turn it over. Check out this beautiful piece and see my client rocking it so well. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video. Love you all. Bye.